any inquiries or questions or anything of that nature, you can send it over to info@kingdomhour.com. Again, that's info@kingdomhour.com. Maybe it's a birthday or anniversary announcement, something of that nature that you would like to shout out. Again, info@kingdomhour.com. And then, of course, throughout the show, we have our church taboo topics that will be coming your way, as well as bless up or mess up, if we can get to it today. And then after the Kingdom Hour, it is the Kingdom After Hour. I don't know. It's Valentine's Day, so we may skirt out of here a little early today. I don't know about Kingdom After Hour. Because, I mean... Isn't she lovely? Where you going with your, dashiki on?
It's just some clothes I would have worked today.
Just some clothes that you decided to wear to work. So nothing special.
No, it's just in celebration of Frederick Douglass' birthday.
That's true. Yeah. No other celebration.
Well, celebration of love is every day. God is love.
Indeed. Yeah. So love him every day.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that feel authentic. Like that came right off the boat.
Well, it is.
It is?
It is authentic.
Okay. Praise God. It's very cool. I love it. Look beautiful in it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can I share my authenticity?
Yes, please do.
Without giving a plug to a store, but, there's a particular store that's named after a flower.
Okay.
Commonly given to people on this day.
Rose.
That sells these.
Oh. I don't know how authentic that is. If you got that from Roses.
You said authentic. But the funny...
I don't know. Let me check the tag on that thing.
Right? You're so good. No, for real, I did.
Really?
They have the most amazing African attire there.
Really?
And yes, T-shirts with slogans and quotes.
Yeah.
Amazing for prices that fit almost anybody's budget. So yes, this is. I mean, you can look at it, and it has all the same labels that you would find under at any place else. So it's very good quality.
Yeah, I was feeling that. Yeah, it's quality.
But
from Roses.
I won't withhold resources from people. That's just
right.
That's just what I do. I share resources.
Share resources.
So this comes from the place that's named after a flower that people get on this particular day.
Yeah, on this day.
Yeah. I bought all mine already, so I don't have to worry about y'all buying it up from me before I go back and get some more.
Of these?
Yeah, there's so many different prints. It's just,
really?
Yeah.
Now, do they have any for the men?
They do.
Really? Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, praise the Lord.
At prices you can't pass up.
Well, yeah, it is Roses. No comment.
I must admit, I was enjoying the fact of you thinking that this came from.
No, I did.
I wanted to let it ride. I really did, but I'm like, I can't do that. I wanted to.
It's the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Stay tuned. Keep it locked in. Don't go anywhere. We got more in store for you right here on 1550 WPFC as well as 1570 and 97.3 WABL. It's the Kingdom Hour Radio Show.
Join us for the Kingdom Hour Radio Show with the Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew. Live on Fridays at 4:30 on WABL 97.3 FM, WABL 1570, and WPFC 1550. Proclaiming the kingdom, preaching the truth, and transforming culture.
Join us for Sunday morning service at Victory and Power Ministries at 10:30 a.m. 6940 Harry Drive, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
The Jambalaya Shop at 225-243-7001. Visit the Jambalaya Shop in Denham Springs. Whether you're tailgating, taking the night off from cooking to feed the family, or just grabbing something for lunch on your lunch break, the Jambalaya Shop has a menu items just right for you. For any occasion, jambalaya, pasta, beans, jumbo, shrimp etouffee, shrimp fettuccine, pork roast, and gravy. Visit the Jambalaya Shop. The secret is in that pot. The Jambalaya Shop at 225-243-7001 with the address of 775 I'm sorry, 7755 Magnolia Beach Road, Suite E in Denham Springs. The Jambalaya Shop, that's secrets in the pot.
The Kingdom Hour with your hosts, Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew, Pastor Travis Paul and Ricky Davis Robinson.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Hour radio show. I'm your host, Apostle Keith, in the building. Of course, we already introduced the Kingdom production crew, the Funky Cole Maninas. Then over here at the Command Center, holding it down with us, it is none other than Desiree D.C., the voice, Collins in the building, District 3, Baker, Louisiana council person.
Wasn't that something?
Yeah, I know, huh? Ain't God good?
Eyes have not seen and ears have not
My
heard.
God, that's the word. That's the word. How's it going? Anything new happening? Big events happening this weekend?
Well, there's of course a lot of events that's coming up. So in the city of Baker, I can talk about the new things that's happening in Baker. We got a new playground equipment up there that's equipped for children or adults with disabilities. So things that you can get on roll your wheelchair on and still enjoy the outdoor activities.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that. And we broke ground and about to get started on the new baseball field that's up there. If you remember, probably when you were a child and you were in Baker, the baseball team.
Yeah. Come
So
on.
they're about to get things started over there at the park over there by
Oh,
Magnolia.
wow. Yeah.
And so a lot of progressive things are happening in Baker. Baker's open for business, and we're hoping and calling out for all businesses. If you want to do good business, come on up to Baker.
If you want to do good business. What about the folk who don't want to do business? Good business.
They can still come on up to Baker and enjoy the rest of it. Yeah.
Join some other folk who's doing good
That's
business.
right. That's right.
Wow. Some big things happening in Baker. Yeah. Big old Baker.
Big old Baker.
Mm,
Baker. And we're in some transformations too.
Yeah.
And so with those transformations, like any business or any other city, they have transformations that happen.
Yeah.
And so there are some transformations happening in Baker, along with the positives and the things that we definitely want to elevate and shout out. Oh, y'all missed it.
Oh, I was coming. I was coming. It was right there at the brink of things. Yeah. Big old Baker.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And our mayor just got nominated to the National League of Cities Council.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So explain that.
Explain. Okay, so there's like the Baton Rouge Metro Council,
Mhm.
right? And so there are the council people who are there.
Okay.
Some of them, like Darryl Hurd,
Yeah.
Dunn,
Uh-huh.
right? Okay, Tawana Harris.
Yeah.
So then there's one that's nationwide.
Oh, wow. So what do they do? I mean, do they convene and they meet, and what's the purpose of their meeting?
And
Just to
talk about the growth of how we grow cities and
Ah,
challenges that cities have,
gotcha.
and maybe being able to partner and collaborate with others to say, hey, here are best practices that we found
right.
with cities with your same size.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
some innovative things we do to bring the city forward. So it's nice to be able to be a part of the National League of Cities, just to go, right?
Wow.
But do you know he has been elected to be on the council?
So he's the one that oversees it all on the council that oversees it.
One of the council members.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That is big.
Yeah.
Such as
No, he's in his last
last term.
Last term. Wow.
There, you could only run for 3 terms. This
Yeah.
is his last. Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
that was pretty exciting. They had it on the news.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting for somebody from a city of our size to be
Yeah.
nominated to be on the council,
Yeah.
the national.
Can any good thing come out of Baker?
Come on here. Where you
Well,
came
of course,
from.
I'm
Wait,
coming.
I was going to say where you came from.
Well, I'm just trying to tell you. You know what I mean?
You asked the question, though. You didn't say it with confidence. Say it again.
Well, there's some good things that can come out of Baker. How about that?
Hey, there we go.
All right. I'm
So
just
I
saying.
did want to give a shout out. I was really glad to see
Yeah.
that on the news as well. And the City of Baker Recreation and Sports Association just had a gala, which is a gala to raise funds for youth.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty phenomenal. So shout out to the young
Yeah.
young coaches who are stepping up and
Wow.
leading the way and creating engagement opportunities for the community. So it was very successful.
Come on.
And it was also on the news. So
Yeah.
shout out to,
Yeah, I did see you and Ace on the news
You did?
there.
I
Yeah,
didn't-
it was something on your page. You and
Oh,
yeah,
that wasn't me on the news.
wasn't you? Who
It
was
was-
it?
That wasn't on the news.
What was it?
It was just maybe on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
What I'm
now.
talking
I
about.
apologize.
Uh-huh.
So we went to the Super Bowl pregame festivities, and I
okay.
encourage everybody that if you can get a chance to go. But what they have is they have like you can be on the different news. Now ESPN didn't invite us to come get on their stage, but it was a whole bunch of other newses that would ask you to come up and they'll give you the podium. And they'll ask you to give you a forecast of what do you think the game was going to be like. So that was what you saw. But it was a lot of fun. $20, you get to go to all of these. It's almost like a fair of events and stuff that you can do.
You mentioned that earlier. They don't advertise that much because I don't think a lot of people know that opportunity is there to have all of those festivities and be a part of those, especially around the Super Bowl.
Right.
But I know during like regular season for the Saints, they have the championship square. You can go and there's all kind of festivities around that, but nothing like the Super Bowl.
Right, and I almost wish I had talked about it, but I didn't know what to talk about because I had never gone before. But there are just different booths. You can meet Hall of Famers.
Oh, wow.
You can meet players who maybe didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but it's like all the teams' players come down for the game to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, you're walking down the street and you're seeing different athletes and you go, I know him.
Right.
That was pretty neat. And then the people who you see, broadcasters and stuff on the channels, they're out there shaking in New Orleans just like anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
So that was pretty neat to participate in. We won gift cards because they were giving away Super Bowl gift cards, Visa gift cards.
Like with money on it?
With money on it.
Like money?
Money. I was like, can I keep this card and use it like next week at home?
Right, that kind of card?
It was
you just had to spin it in the venue?
I wanted to take the card and spin it at home.
Yeah.
Ace told me let's
we
go
gonna
to the
spin
store.
Right.
Right.
So
I never
here.
got to explore if that $25 would have come back, right?
Yeah.
But it was pretty neat. So I like that in the store they had you would think that if they gave you a $25 gift card, we did get one apiece. That you probably everything in there's gonna cost $100 and you still have to pay $75, right? But that wasn't the case. They had things starting as low as $5.
Oh wow. Yeah, so they wasn't trying to break you back.
They weren't, and so it was booths and giveaways all over the place. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in, and a tremendous amount of giveaways. I was surprised.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out too because there was no reported accidents or incidents that took place, and so big shout out to the city of New Orleans that really came in and secured the place so everybody can have a festive time,
right?
So yeah, that was huge.
Lots of security there.
Yeah,
lots of dogs. Lots of dogs. The dogs.
K9.
K9 that was smelling.
Yeah.
So you're passing by and they sniffing everybody. It's like you don't have a choice. It was so funny. Because you almost feel a little violated. The dog is like, you're going to have to come past me.
Right.
And so it's just dogs. I don't know. I can't tell you how many feet, ever so many feet there were dogs. But it made you feel a false sense of security until you know that it is a secure sense of security.
Right.
So things were well. Like you said, it was without incident. And when I say without incident, I didn't see any problems, not even people inebriated and acting bad.
Yeah.
Not that they weren't inebriated, but they weren't acting bad.
They weren't acting bad. Because there is a difference.
Right. So
liberated.
Great. And then we went back Friday. So it's just different days. And then they get your phone number. You download an app. And then they'll message you until you get prizes if you can get over to a section, whatever, within a certain amount of time frame. So, it's just they did
almost like a scavenger hunt type of thing. Wow. That's awesome.
So what you saw was
all that for $20.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, $20 on Monday, $40 on Friday.
Okay, total $60 for the week. I mean, that's not bad. Yeah, that's awesome. And then of course, we had all that security. Our president was in town, and so of course, that brought another added layer of security because, of course, when any president comes into town, you got to secure a lockdown up to 6 miles. I think it is 3 to 6 miles, something like that of the area. So that added an extra layer. So for those of you who was like, why is he coming in town? I think it was probably a good thing because it added that additional security that we probably would not have had otherwise. Of course, it made it inconvenient for a lot of folk.
It did.
Yeah,
that was something that you don't think about. We were at we were ordering some food, and a lady said that she had to leave her house at 4:00 to get there by 5.
Yeah.
And she was disabled.
Oh wow.
And so she said the bus put you off. The bus put her off 6 miles out because the bus couldn't come bring her to the job, but she had to walk in.
Oh my God.
And so we're out there. I felt guilty because we're out there having a good time,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
realize the sacrifice that
Sure.
people had to
Yeah.
make to get here to serve you.
Yeah. Wow.
Until she was telling that story, so she was cranky.
I could imagine.
And bad
6 months.
service. You know, bad.
It was probably bad from the start.
I don't know, but I mean, if I was disabled and had to walk 6 miles because didn't know that the bus was gonna put me that far out, I guess I might be cranky.
Yeah.
You know.
I probably would be too.
So that's something to think about. All the people who are providing services and what they had to do to make this be such a spectacle.
Yeah. Wow. And, the residents as well. So I'm quite sure it's huge inconvenience. People parking in their grass and their driveways and all that kind of stuff. Them trying to just navigate and just live life. And you had that. Yeah.
But I had a good time.
Don't go anywhere. It is the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Of course, we have Church Taboo topics coming your way. Stick around.
It's the Kingdom Hour. It's the Kingdom Hour on WABL and WPFC. Keep it locked. Keep it locked. Join us for the Kingdom Hour Radio Show with Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew. Live on Fridays at 4:30 on WABL 97.3 FM, WABL 1570, and WPFC 1550. Proclaiming the kingdom, preaching the truth, and transforming culture.
Well, it's getting about that time again for tax season. Yeah, taxes. If you got jacked up last year, overpaid in your taxes, didn't get enough back, or maybe your tax collector preparer ran off with your money, well, you want to call the fast, friendly, reliable, and affordable tax service that has over 60 years of experience. Who am I talking about? That's A&R All Tax Service. That's right, A&R All Tax Service. You can give them a call today. Huh?
Well, we can dig it.
You could dig it.
Who you gonna call?
Not the Ghostbusters. A&R All Tax Service, 225-775-1706. Again, that's 225-775-1706. Go see them today at 12841 Plank Road. They're in Baker, Louisiana. When you get there, ask for Ruby Richard, Audrey Palmer, or Miss Irma Bajeron. When you want it done right, you want A&R All Tax Service to do it for you. Give them a call today and let them know that the Kingdom Hour Radio Show sent you their way.
Join Senator Regina Barrow and featured guest for Insight Rouge, legislative perspectives, session highlights, issues which affect you, the valued constituent. It's Insight Rouge each and every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on this your station, WPFC 1550 AM, Port Allen, Baton Rouge. Stay tuned.
Join us for the Kingdom Hour Radio Show with Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew. Live on Fridays at 4:30 on WABL 97.3 FM, WABL 1570, and WPFC 1550. Proclaiming the kingdom, preaching the truth, and transforming culture.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Of course, it's Freestyle Friday, right? On Church Taboo Topics. You can always give us a call at 225-953-7131. It's a new call-in number, 225-953-7131. You can give us a call if you want to be a part of today's show. Maybe you want to give a shout out to your pastor, maybe your first lady, or your first gentleman. If you got a female pastor and she's married, I don't know, but you know, they got to be careful nowadays because they got this first gentleman thing going on now with.
What is it? I don't.
You never heard of first gentleman?
No.
So yeah, so it's
Do tell.
it's a male pastor with a male spouse, and instead of being like the first lady, he's the first gentleman.
Gotcha. Thanks for that perspective.
Yeah, first gentleman. Yeah.
Learn something new every Friday.
Yes. And listen, I don't know. It's the world we live in.
It is. It is.
The first gentleman.
We're in this world, but not of it.
Hey, there you go. That's the word. That is the word. Yeah. Yeah. So they got the first gentleman now. But, you know, it's possible to have, you know, a female pastor being the senior pastor and her husband is the first gentleman. I mean, I guess. I don't know. We put titles on everything.
Right. It's like whatever you call me today, right?
Yeah.
Peanut butter.
Not peanut butter. Yeah, I mean, you know, even, you know, of course, you know, it's primarily, and I would go ahead and say it because I can say it, in the black church. I mean, because, you know, even the first lady, it's not even a biblical title, you know, to have a first lady. It's not something in the Bible, but of course, you know, it's out of reverence or respect for, you know, the pastor's wife,
Yeah.
you know, so first lady.
Okay.
I get it, you know. However, it is not biblical as far as a position being held in the church. So
That's not in the Bible.
it's not in the Bible. Yeah, the Bible don't say that. Yeah, it don't say that. You know, that's why I hear it, you know, Elevate. We don't call. Oh, yeah, that part. We do that. You know, here at Elevate. You barking over there. She said, "Oh, I don't know, Shaggy." But you know, my wife, we consider her to be Lady T, not our first lady. And I tell our congregation, she is not your first lady. She's my lady first.
I heard you say that before.
Yeah, she's my lady first.
that was
you know.
very nice.
Yeah. And you know, I don't say this in a subservient or even in a deviant fashion. You know, she is to serve me as her husband, not to serve the body, because that's biblical as well. Husbands, you know, we should, you know, love our wives as Christ loved the church, and wives love your husband. So, you know, she's there to be a help to me.
Yeah.
You know, and if God calls her to be a help to the body and, you know, in a certain role or fashion or position, then bless God, you know, but I'm not going to allow our congregation to put the pressure and the stress of what we think a first lady should be.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like you. I like that.
Yeah.
It's there for you, and you and she were together long before the church.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate that. I'm sure she does too.
She does, you know, because, you know, of course, you know, traditionally, especially, again, in the African-American church, you look at the first lady and the first thing they want, oh, you got to be able to women's ministry, you got to be able to pray, you got to preach every now and then, you got to grab the mic and do all of this, that, and the third. But what if that person's not called to those things?
Exactly.
Then you put that pressure and that stress on that person to be something that they're not called to be, you know, and that puts a lot of stress and strain on relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now here it is, you have to be something that you're not, but you're feeling the pressure of the people to become it. You know?
Association with the person
Yeah.
that you're married to.
Yeah. Nah.
And that's not genuine
Big deal.
offering that she's given either.
Exactly.
Because it's not something she wanted to do. It's
Oh,
what she's
absolutely.
having to assume. That's
Absolutely.
beautiful. That's a good standard that you're saying, and hopefully that'll free somebody else to go.
I hope it does,
Exactly.
'cause-
I feel that way. I didn't know how
Yeah.
to say it.
Yeah, a lot of divorces take place, you know, especially in the church because of that. You know, it's because maybe I'm called to be an intercessor and not one to lead a particular ministry, you know, and bless God, be an intercessor, you know. But now all of a sudden, because you're the first lady, you have to preach every now and then on, you know, maybe it's Mother's Day or whatever, and you want the first lady to preach. No, sit down. Some of them can't preach anyway. I'm just saying, you know, if you're not called to do it,
Right.
why forced to do it? Be forced.
Moving out of her calling.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do.
praise God. Maybe that's freestyle for all right. We'd love to hear from you. 225-406-7674. No, I'm about to give them both. He said the wrong number. I'm about to give them both because they both still work. 225-406-7674, but direct to the studio is 225-953. That's funny. He's like, hold on. 953-7131 is the number as well. 225-953-7131 is Freestyle Friday. So, of course, course, you can give us a call to be a part of today's show if you're on Facebook, YouTube, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, Spotify. Even if you miss one of the shows, you can always go back on one of those digital platforms and be a part of today's show. Yeah. What you got planned for? Yeah, I know we say every day is Love Day. You guys got anything planned for the weekend?
Not really. I'm really looking forward to the fact that I have no plans.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that too.
You do?
Yeah. We're going to go out to dinner tomorrow night. It's going to be so crazy out there tonight. I'm like, we ain't doing that. We just going to go tomorrow and have some dinner and just kick it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just you and her?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Where you going? Gotcha.
I was surprising her because,
Oh, that's so sweet.
she may be on.
I hope she's not reading your lips, though.
Oh.
I really have no plans at all.
Wow.
And I'm so looking forward to that. Like
Yeah.
laundry, like changing the sheets and bedspreads.
You going a little bit too far now.
At the house. I just want
You
to
be
be
at
at
the-
home.
I get that, but I want to be at home doing nothing, not changing no sheets, not laundry, just doing nothing but be in my underwear.
Oh, okay. Freestyle Friday, y'all.
The hour cometh, and now it's the Kingdom Hour.
Has your home seen better days, holes in the walls, outdated look, need a wash job or fresh paint? Well, you want to call the right-hand man. That's right, your right-hand man, LLC. He's the man for the job. He handles all carpentry, drywall, electrical, painting, plumbing, pressure washing needs. Get your free estimate today. Call Kenneth White, your right-hand man, at 225-810-1283. When you want the job done, you want your right-hand man to do it for you. Give him a call today, 225-810-1283. Get your free estimate.
Robertson Small Engine Repair. Has your engine equipment been experiencing lop issues?
Lop?
Yeah, lack of performance. Well, call Robertson Small Engine Repairs. Fast and friendly service. They fix it all. Lawnmowers, blowers, trimmers, four-wheelers, ATVs, golf carts, pressure washers, generators, and much, much more. If it has a small engine, they can fix it. All work guaranteed. Robinson Small Engine Repair, located at 10808 Greenville Springs Road, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Call 225-272-5604. And one more time, 225-272-5604.
It's the Kingdom Hour with your hosts, Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew, Pastor Travis Paul and Ricky Davis Robinson.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Of course, it's Freestyle Friday. Do us a favor if you would. Leave us a comment in the box below and go over to our Facebook page and give us a thumbs up, a like, or something of that nature. If you happen to be on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we go live with one of the episodes of the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Yeah, It's a new season. It's a new season. It's a new day.
Brand new mercies.
Yes, fresh anointing.
Coming your way.
Mine
too.
Yeah,
Season of power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and prosperity.
It's a new season.
It's a new season.
It's true.
Yeah, indeed it is. Hey guys, of course, to be a part of today's show, simply dial the number 225-953-7131 is the number, 225-953-7131 if you'd like to be a part of today's show. And you know what? I don't know if I could do it. I'm going to sing it. Nick, Stephen King has a new song out. Yeah, have y'all heard it yet? Yeah. Yeah, and it's a befitting song for today.
Oh.
It's called Waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those songs for the saved and single folk. Amen.
Okay.
Saved and single. You know what? I don't have my adapter. I was gonna say I could play it from here, but I don't have the adapter over here.
Still setting up the new space.
Yeah. You see it over there, Nick? It's the little bungee cord thing. I can plug it in and plug it in. Amen. I don't know. I don't see it. I want to give a big shout out to, we played the promo earlier to Senator Regina Barrow and Insight Rouge. The show airs every Thursday at 5:30 on WPFC. And she streams live here from L Studios.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I know, huh? And so you want to tune in on Thursdays at 5:30. It's really insightful. They deal with a lot of political and social and community issues that are happening around the city of Baton Rouge as well as the state as well. I don't know, Nick. I thought it was over there by the computer. But, yep, that's it. But, I need one more thing, Nick. Bring me my bag. Yep. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Let's see here. We're gonna see if we can get Stephen King. You know what? We may even get him on the phone.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say it.
Yeah.
Now, if there's anybody else who's wanting to give a topic or start a conversation right here on the radio show, your perspective is welcome at 953-7151.
It's the chair. It definitely is the chair. 953-7131.
7131. All right.
It's the chair. It's the
I'm
chair.
fun. Hiccup.
It's a hiccup. It is definitely the chair because you normally know the number.
Yeah. Skip a week and look at what happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's the chair.
So what about people who get really worked up on today? Whether they start to feel like I got to find me somebody because that day is coming, or break up with somebody before the day comes so you don't have to worry about the feelings.
Yeah. The feelings are the financial piece that goes along with it. I used to have friends back in college that would do that. They would break up with their girlfriends right around the time of, this time of the year.
They break up before Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And they
All the
start-
holidays that would call something.
Right.
Yep.
And then they get back together in March.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
But listen, I don't blame the guys. I blame the girls who would allow themselves to endure that. You gonna break up with me and then try to get back with me? Nah, bro, we ain't doing that. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if God is love, then why do we spend so much time on what we call love and spending money on chocolates and flowers and stuff?
That's a conversation to have right there.
It is. I was just thinking, love is patient, love is kind, love is long-suffering.
Yeah.
I think it's so unfortunate that people get so wrapped up in that. And so I've
It's
had
propaganda.
it's commercialism.
Yeah.
Capitalism. I've had a chance to talk to a lot of people today that were not today, but just this week, that were very either sad because they weren't in a relationship or breaking up with somebody before. They were like, we got to break up. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And things, not working out? No, it's Friday coming. I'm going, is that still a thing? Right? So I just, if nothing else, I wanted to say, while we say love is patient, love is kind, love is long-suffering, love is free.
Ooh. All right. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is free.
Love is free. And God is love.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
I like that. I wish you had told me that before I spent $10,000. No,
Ooh.
I was joking.
Overflow.
Love is free. I love it.
Well, God is love, right?
Yeah. You about to do poetry? God, you felt it, huh? I felt a poetic moment. Yeah.
My heart goes out to people. I don't think by far when God is trying to express himself as love, that he would want people to feel very sad on one day about what the world has told them that love is. And I wonder how long does it take some people to repair
Oh wow.
after that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, is it a cyclic thing every year that kind of sends them in a spiral for a while before they're able to come out?
I can
of that?
imagine. Yeah.
Because flowers weren't delivered to the job, or chocolates, or
Yeah.
cards and messages and stuff. When God is loving, love is free.
Yeah.
Right. So I think we're misallocating our efforts and our desires of what love is, and allowing it to become materialized, and that makes me really sad.
Yeah. And, you think about it, too, like your coworkers and whatnot, you getting flowers and, maybe that coworker doesn't have someone in their life and they have to deliver you the flowers to your office. Think about the emotional roller coaster that is. It's like, I don't have anybody, but here it is. They left flowers at the front counter and I have to bring you flowers and I don't have flowers.
That is hilarious, because I actually took someone some flowers. I
I thought you were about to say I took somebody's flowers.
No, that was prophetic right there. And when I was coming in the door, there was someone, there was a flower delivery, so I actually carried them. But, I felt so good. I think this person they deserve it. And so, so it was so good just to be able to kind of carry that, and bring it into the tour. But other people get their flowers delivered to them for the pomp and circumstance.
Some people do that.
They do.
Deliver
They
themselves some
just
flowers.
Have someone deliver the biggest, vase, and just go,
And look for me. you know what you ordered.
So you do too much, right? But I love that empowerment that people have to go. If you want flowers, buy them yourself.
Yeah.
You wanted them.
Yeah.
You can't depend on the other person to have known.
And why on that day? Send yourself some flowers every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't wait for somebody to send you flowers. Go buy them yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just hearing from different people and just going, oh, I don't think that love is supposed to be like that.
That's a statement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. A lot of times we evaluate love based upon the gifts we get.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how we measure love. You don't buy me enough gifts, you don't love me enough.
If that's your love language, and some people's love language is material things.
Well, but then you gotta ask yourself, is it really love? Or is it just your sugar daddy?
Love of things. Huh?
Oh,
Sugar
love of
daddy.
things.
Come on, sugar daddy. Right.
The love of things.
Love
yeah.
of things.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. So because I enjoy the company of my family, and I enjoy the company of my husband. So I don't think, in many ways, I have the right to speak on that, because I'm not someone who's single in this season. But when I look at people who are single, or even people who are married, and with the expectation, I know he better have done this or whatever, it's like, if that's all you have to do is be a one-trick wonder.
Not a one-trick pony.
Just that one time, same trick. Do it again.
Same trick every year.
You're right.
Roll over, boy. Sit. Play dead.
And that's sufficient to last 364?
Oh, wow. 365 on leap year.
Right. 65. That's a struggle. That struggle gets struggler. Rick up. So
That deserves, yes, it does.
The hour cometh, and now it's the Kingdom Hour.
That is indeed a Rick up. It is definitely the chair, y'all.
Kingdom Hour with your host, Apostle Keith, and the Kingdom Crew, Pastor Travis Paul and Ricky Davis Robinson.
It is the Kingdom Hour radio show. Actually, this thing died, so and I don't have the adapter for that one. So, yeah, we were going to play Stephen King's new song, Waiting, and I'm going to figure it out. That's what I do. I figure things out.
So February is Black History Month.
Indeed,
and
it is.
People say often, why did they pick the shortest month of the year
Right.
to be Black History Month? Right?
Yeah,
And
that's an
I
argument.
hear that often.
Yeah.
So do you know why?
Talk to me. Why?
Okay. Do you know why over there, Maninas? Well, it is because it happens to be Frederick Douglass. Today is Frederick Douglass' birthday.
Yes, the
And-
Afro.
The afro. Got to put the part on the side.
You got to have the part.
And also Abraham Lincoln's birthday is this month.
Ah.
And did you know that Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass were friends?
Yeah. Now that I knew. Yeah.
And so Carter G. Woodson decided that he wanted to put it in the celebration in the month where the most prolific abolitionists
Wow.
were in the same birth month.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so that's why February gets to be Black History Month. I don't know that the creator now, so don't hate me, right? Because he was the one who created Black History Month. It didn't exist before him, and
Okay.
he chose that month.
Yeah.
I feel like when people get upset about it, it's like you got the whole year. You can do what you want to do with every day, just because people don't.
That part.
Right. Do the after party. You know, you got the
the after
Black
hour.
History,
Yeah.
and then you got the Black History after party or the
Yeah.
after month,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
And just keep it going. But I thought it was really important to to be able to say,
Yeah.
here's the reason why.
You know what? Let's talk about some Black historical
Let's go.
moments.
Let's go.
You know.
Okay.
And let's see. We yesterday. So of course, like I stated earlier, Senator Barrow, she broadcast live from L Studios here, and she had Dr. Cardell Paris here in the studio live with us on yesterday, and she was sharing some of her historical Black moments as well.
It's something else.
She is.
Uh-huh.
She is. Yeah, she is my cardiologist. She is funny. This is my friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has you have to call her that.
Yeah.
Because if you know her, it's like, well, she told me what I needed to know here. Right. She's my cardiologist too.
Oh wow. Yeah. 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 And so she's actually she's in a I think it's Netflix or Hulu movie special. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It's one of the two. And as far as her coming from the islands and being a Black woman who is a heart doctor. Yeah. That's she made some historical, yeah.
She drops a lot of jewels.
She does.
She does.
That ain't all she drops too.
No, it's not.
I was like, woman, we in the church. Watch your mouth. Oh,
She
it's
said,
a cultural thing.
she said, not this part of the building.
Right. So of course, there are great movies out there that has even, Tyler Perry's movie that had just come out as well.
688.
Huh?
688.
Yeah. So, of course, there's a lot of black history that has been whitewashed and has been not really promoted in a way that it should be. And even, Ruby Bridges and whatnot, and her contribution to segregation and whatnot. Stuff like that, we just don't, I don't know, we don't put enough credence, enough.
I think it's us that doesn't put enough credence,
Yeah,
right? We get to talk about whatever we want to talk about.
that's true.
And many times we don't keep that at the forefront of conversations. There was a time, I grew up in a time, and it could have been just because of the time I grew up in, but, Black history was not just, it wasn't talked about like Black history. It was talked about like every day today, like right now, just common language.
Yeah.
And I think that we've gotten away from valuing who we are and what we bring to the table and being able to empower that in our children, but in each other. Because as we remind each other and we have conversations like that, it makes you sit up straight.
It does. And we talk because you ain't that much older than me. She's talking about like back in my day.
I'm not older than you. Stop.
Okay. Yeah.
Now everybody's wondering now, wait a minute. How old is
I'm
she?
wondering too.
How old is she? And
Ouch. Ouch. That's not you. That's me.
how old is he or she?
Right. But and just kind of a transparent moment here, because me growing up, the time that we grew up, a lot of my my historical references were modern day time. I looked at my neighbors and who were doing great stuff, and even Press Robertson,
Right.
I remember growing up at that time,
Yes.
and my mom was heavily involved in the school board and all that stuff, and I remember as a little kid, being around that, and I'm like, this is black excellence. You know what I mean? And so even, when it came down, of course, everybody knew Martin Luther King and all of that, and Malcolm X, but a lot of the other black historical, figures out there, I wasn't oblivious to them, because my parents talked about them, my mom did, but it was like, it was far reached.
Okay.
But most of my black heroes were community people.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
They were moving and shaking and making a difference.
Yeah.
But lived on your street.
That part.
Right?
Yeah.
So when we think about history or trendsetters, then we have to ask ourselves, are we communicating effectively enough with each other that we know are the trendsetters in our community? Or are there not any more trendsetters in our community?
Oh.
And
dichotomy of that. Wow. Yeah.
And so I believe that
That's good.
Maybe we're not effectively communicating the moves that we're making, even though we got Facebook and social media, and everybody puts the most on the social media. I think that we are afraid to put the things that shift the paradigm of a community.
That's good.
To have those kind of conversations.
And
to empower each other to know that you are the trendsetter. Whoever
That's
you might
true.
be talking to, the difference begins right now.
Yeah.
In this conversation.
Yeah.
Or with who you are right now here today, right?
That's so true, because when you think about the disruptors of nowadays, I don't really see anybody like really standing out. Let me say this, that's really publicized. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't see it.
Now in a time with all the social media, but back then in a time where there was only what you go to Sunday go to church meetings,
right? Yeah,
and that's how you find out the information.
Yeah, I
think the commitment might have been different for people to go and get the information because it wasn't so easily accessible. I think that we're immensely distracted by all the other things that come up
and
on
complacent.
Page. That we don't search for it because we get distracted and go down rabbit holes of all kind of other intel.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and admit too, because I get on there and be like, that's why I stay. I'm fasting. I'm doing intermittent fasting from social media because it happens. You can get on there to, I'm just gonna pull this up, and then all of a sudden this pops up, and then that pops up, and that pops up, and then like you say, you're in the rabbit hole.
5 hours later.
No, I ain't that bad. I am not that bad. I know some people. They'll chase that rabbit.
But like you said, trendsetters now, like Regina Barrow.
Yeah.
Like Cleve Dunn. Like Councilman Darrell Hurst.
Yeah. Like
Anthony
Desiree
Kinney.
Collins.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Anthony Kinney. I mean, he's the youngest.
Young, yeah.
Right? How ambitious is that to decide to try?
Just to try.
Just to try.
That's a statement. Yeah. Just to try. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna get out there. But he is progressive in thought too. That's what I like about him. He's looking to move some things.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I think he's for such a time as this. I think that all seats are. I'm going to let God be God and trust His sovereignty in everybody who's been appointed. Yeah. And then after that, the community needs to make sure that they're doing what they need to do to be
that part
and support.
Hold them accountable.
Yeah.
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 Well, I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You did more than just try, though.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Like I said, it's just an extension of the work that's already been done. Whether it's just like I said, I can't keep resources from people. This came from Roses. I can't. If I know something, I gotta give it to
That's just so funny to me. Roses is a resource.
Well, if you want one.
I got a resource for you. What is it? I can't wait till you tell me. Go to Roses.
But for people who are looking, they go, "That's a resource for me," right? So I just whatever it might be to make somebody's journey in humanity be a little bit lighter.
Yeah. Did you get the earrings from Roses as well? I'm sorry. Keep talking. I'm still stuck on Roses.
City Trend.
Another resource.
Well, if you want to know where the earrings came from, I mean, I could withhold it and just fling them and not tell you. And XO extra and grand, but I cannot. But I think about the people, like you said, who were right there in the communities. I knew when I was growing up as a child, it was W.T. Winfield that lived over in Southern Heights.
Yeah.
And I grew up on 70th Avenue.
Yeah.
And then there was Sadie Sadie Robinson.
Yep, yep.
She lived down the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could just go on and on naming people who we walk the same earth together. You know, we
Yeah.
breathe the same air, but they get up and go take care of that business.
Yeah.
You know, and come right back and be in the front yard throwing footballs or talking to your mom at the mailbox or something
Come on.
like that. And so now, and mind you, I grew up in Banks.
I didn't know you grew up in Banks. Really? All right. All right, Bankstown.
So Banks is right next to Southern Heights.
Southern Heights,
right?
yeah.
And so one of the projects they had in Southern Heights was that they would come and work with the people.
One of the projects. There's a lot of projects.
There were, yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. You're talking about what kind of projects?
Right.
All right. For those who call Banks the project, but I would not have it because that's what he's trying to say.
Hey.
But the fact that they would come and then the students and stuff would come and do work over in
Yeah.
Banks and the professors.
projects,
Yeah, in Banks. Those were initiatives.
I was about to say, maybe a better word would be initiatives.
That they had, but so it made you feel connected to
Yeah.
Southern University. But that was part of their plan with HBCUs is to be right in those
In
communities.
communities,
So
yeah.
you feel connected to them. Like it's not like I don't belong there, especially when they come into your community. And
Now,
do
I
work
wonder,
in the
is
community.
that still part of the mindset, the mentality of the university, is to be that what it was back then, to be community minded?
I wonder. I don't
Yeah,
know, but
'cause-
it was heavy. We could depend on it.
Yeah.
It was consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't see or hear or again here, and I could be removed from it. I don't know, but same here. They used to come. I grew up in the lower part of Baker. I call it the lower part.
Projects?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There was no projects in Baker.
But it was lower though. It was the lower part, not the upper part. It was
It-
lower.
There was no. It was not
The
Banks.
valley of.
No, it
Well,
was
we're
not
not
Banks.
talking about Banks right now. We're talking about the part of Baker you're
There
from.
is no comparison.
I want you to
Anyway,
focus.
Yeah, stay focused. but there was initiatives.
Sure.
That came and so you saw those things, but I just don't see that, especially the fact that we have social media and and there's so many platforms to make those things prevalent and very observant, so those things you could see, visual shall I say, but you just don't see that.
Do you think it's something that we don't follow?
Well, I don't know. It's just, I like to think that I'm pretty connected to the community.
Okay.
I just don't, and my ears pretty close to the ground. I just don't hear the noise, the rumbling of that.
So one of the black historians, based off what you're saying right now, or trendsetters would be you, with the way that you support the unhoused and how consistent you've been for 16 years. And so when we think about people who were movers and shakers and difference makers in the world, I think that goes to you. 16 years of supporting families consistently on Thursdays that they know. Like I'm talking about the initiatives I was a part of. You know which days people would come and you look forward
Yeah.
to that. And it kind of helps keep you with a sense of balance on reality.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know if it's Thursday,
Sure.
then I'm going to get to go over here and I'm going to see these people who are going to provide this resource, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted you to put yourself in that category. And if you don't, I will.
Well, praise God. We'll let God be God. But, it's even with that. I mean, of course, we take advantage of the platforms out there, social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all of that. But I don't think it's reaching the people that it need to reach,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
I do.
You know what I mean? So that could be the issue, because I know what we do here as a ministry, and it's not, we're making impact. We're not looking for the media type of impact. But I just don't see it really being broadcasted.
So it could be the same way for others who are out there being God's hands and feet.
Could be.
Who
Yeah.
are being trendsetters.
Yeah. Now I'm saying that, I could see that. Yeah.
And you are putting it on your social media platforms.
Yeah.
Which you said you don't feel like it's going where it should, or it's reaching those.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's something to think about. Why? For any one of us who are doing work,
Yeah.
and why was it able to be so widespread back then?
Without the social media platforms. Yeah.
Was it because it was the investment in the community? Because see, back then, you're gonna go tell it. The conversations that people sit down and have is no one's on their phone.
Yeah.
When you sit down with people shucking peas or whatever you might be doing.
Said shucking peas.
Yeah.
You sure you from Banks? Sound like you from the country.
My mother. So we did have a garden in the backyard, but I think then they had conversations. You weren't distracted by social media, so people
That
aren't
part.
sitting down going through their phones
Yeah.
or casually talking every now and then. You were really invested, and I guess sharing everything that you know. Maybe that's why the word spread wider. We can all have
I guess we don't have storytellers like we used to in the tribes, in the communities. You know, you always have that one person who would tell a story. You know, I don't know.
that's some good Black history too, for you to say about the storytellers and
Yeah.
and to ask all of us the question, what happened to it?
Yeah. Wow. That's a conversation to have. Hey, guys, our time has now expired here on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. It's been Freestyle Friday. Hey, listen, if you don't have a place of worship, you can come see us at Elevate Church, 10957 Greenwell Springs Road. If you want to catch one of the episodes of the Kingdom Hour Radio Show, you can always catch us on one of the digital streaming platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick. You can even catch us on Spotify. We're all over the place. If you got it, we're there. It's the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Of course, for the Kingdom production crew over there holding down the ones and twos, it's the Funky Gold Maninas. Want to give a big shout out to their Fresh Rev and Pink on Purpose and all of that good stuff. Yeah, I don't know the number by heart, so you have to put it on the screen. Huh?
Can I give us a shout out
Go ahead.
on our way out? So
On the way out.
Yeah. So got something that's coming up soon. If
yeah.
you want to support, I danced my way through death. Thank you. So we want to. There we are. Thank you for your RSV, the exclusive book signing. Your access has been confirmed. So this is not no longer open to the public because they are completely booked. But
Yeah.
what you can do is support the cause by purchasing a book and learning more about dancing her way through death.
Yeah. That event's taking place this Sunday. Yeah, this Sunday at 3:00, I believe it is. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely, definitely want to support.
I got another one. A new book just came out called Grace to Govern with Pastor Miriam McFarland.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
right.
she got a book out.
Yes,
Come on.
yes. Take advantage of it. You can purchase it on Amazon. Grace to Govern with Miriam McFarland.
Oh wow, man, we got to get busy.
Yes.
All these folks popping books out left and right. I had about 5 on the show. So Fresh Revelation. You gonna put that up? Now available. Come on now. Hey, Fallen, go ahead.
Yes, really, really thankful for the story that she's chose to share.
Amen. So there it is. Oh, give it I can turn
So
that
we got
way.
Nicholas and Malika Manina at 225-614-2429. Fresh Revelations Media. If you want to capture the moment that will last a lifetime and you wanted the trueness of clarity to be shown, I wouldn't book anybody else but Nicholas and Malika Manina at 225-614-2429. Fresh Revelations Media.
All right, guys, we're up out of here for Desiree DC, The Voice, and myself, Apostle Keith. We're going to catch you guys next week. I think we're going to forgo Kingdom After Hour show. I got some things to do.
Don't we all?
Yeah. You guys have a great one. God bless you. Have a great weekend. We're going to see you guys next week on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Kingdom Hour. We trust you have been blessed. If you would like to contact us, please visit our Facebook page at The Kingdom Hour. Or you can email us, info@kingdomhour.com. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next show.